Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave. It's episode 500. 500 episodes of the How to Podcast series. How can I talk about podcasting for 500 episodes? Well, it's actually more than that, but it's episode number 500, and you're here. I'm here. So glad to have you with us. We're going to celebrate 500 episodes of the How to Podcast series. Yeah. Well, how is life? How are things with you? How are the kids? How are the family? What's going on? How's the podcast? You doing good with your podcast? Good. And I just wanted to jump on for episode 500 and share a little bit about why I still love the show, why I still love having time with you, and talking all things podcasting together, you and I. It's been a lot of fun to do this over the last 4 years. And to have time with you is great. So I want to encourage you as a podcaster to be aware of your little milestones for your show. We're so caught up with the next thing as we create content. We're always building and working and planning and recording and posting and sharing. And sometimes we need to slow down and go, wait a minute. I need to celebrate this. I need to woohoo, come on, right? We did it. We did the thing. And that could be anything for you. It could be, you reached 5 episodes. Wow. Did you celebrate or did you just pass right by that? You got to 10, double digits, right? Wow. You got to 100, 200, 500 episodes. You got 5 listens, 20 listens, 100 listens. Wow. Are you celebrating or are you just letting it all just fly by? I think we need to slow down sometimes and celebrate what's happening in our world. It's a big thing. So I want to share some stats with you from PodMatch. They release this on a monthly basis, this kind of report at podmatch.com/report. And it's interesting to see some things that'll give you some perspective of what's going on in podcasting today, this month. And they do this every month. So there's a drop-down menu on these different stats, and you can then sort and look back in time. It's really interesting, and they do this completely for free. You don't have to belong to PodMatch to get to the report, and the link's in the show notes for you to go check it out. But there's some interesting things around what's happening in the podcast space to give you some perspective. So whether you're celebrating 500 episodes like we are here, or, 10 episodes, 115, 23, whatever you're at, there's some interesting statistics and information that they pull in for podcasters. And one of them is the chances of success and failure as a podcaster. And I'm looking at the July 2025 drop-down menu. So if you go there in the future, you can go back to this tab and see exactly what I'm reading to you as reference. See, I'm not making this stuff up. But whenever you listen to this in the future, then the numbers might change compared to what I'm seeing right now in July 2025. Yeah, I'm recording this in July, by the way. So there's episode milestones. And a percent of reaching this milestone based on the current numbers that make up this report at podmatch.com/report. The chances of success and failure as a podcaster. On average, it takes 2 years and 100 episodes released before podcasters see results. But as of July 2025, unfortunately, 0.83% of podcasters quit before reaching 100 episodes. Wow. 93, almost 94% of podcasters never get to 100 episodes. And that's 52 episodes a year, roughly, right? 2 years, 104 episodes. Most podcasters, 94%. Do not get to this stage. Now, we're celebrating 500 episodes. Okay, so perspective here, okay? So if you're early in your podcast journey and you're like, holy cow, that's a lot. Okay, well, here's some other numbers for you. The reaching 8 episodes, the percentage of people that reach 8 episodes in their podcast, not even 10, is 42%. Reach 8 episodes. 42%. So over like 60% don't. The amount of podcasters that get to 50 episodes in their podcast total is 11%. The amount of podcasters that reach 100 episodes is 6%. 200 episodes, 2.5%. And 300 episodes, 3%. Approximately 601 podcasters quit their podcast every single day. 601 podcasters stop podcasting every day. So if you have more than 8 episodes, if you have more than 50 episodes, or if you're in the triple digits, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 episodes, the amount of competition you have in your space for your topic significantly drops. The more episodes you do and the longer you stick with this. The likelihood of success right now, as of July 2025, of success for podcasters, 6% of podcasters are successful and 94% fail. Just stop podcasting. So that's an interesting stat. And yeah, what about like podcast industry averages for listeners, for downloads per episode in the first 7 days? Are you interested? Again, this is on PodMatch.com report. Again, links in the show notes. But this is your, as of July 2025, your podcast compared to the industry averages. What do you think the numbers are for the first 7 days of episode download numbers? I think you might be surprised. To be in the top 50% of podcasters, the top 50%, you need to have 27 downloads for your episode, a single episode, in the first 7 days. 27 downloads, not 2,700, 27,000, 270,000. To be in the top 50% of podcasts, you need 27 downloads. These numbers are coming through PodMatch from Buzzsprout. 27 downloads. So when people are like, I want to be a great podcaster, I want people to reach I want to be really successful. Well, you only need 27 downloads to be in the top 50. And remember, as we talked earlier, the amount of people that are sticking with podcasting for the long term is significantly lower. So you've got great odds, even with 27 downloads. That's pretty good for 7 days. If you have 109 downloads in 7 days, from the time you release the podcast, for the next 7 days, you get 109 downloads, you're in the top 25%. If you have 454 downloads in 7 days from the time you release your episode, for that one episode, 454 downloads, you're in the top 10%. If you have 1,048 downloads in 7 days after releasing that episode, you're in the top 5. And if you want to be in the top 1% of podcasters, you need 4,269 downloads for a single episode in 7 days. From the time you release it, 7 days, you get 4,200 downloads. You're in the top 1% of podcasters. Other people are going to say they're the top 1 to 5% of downloads in podcasts, but they're not using these numbers. Just so you know, they're using another service, and that service is not credible because it's comparing your show to all of the dead shows that no longer produce episodes. So congratulations, you're one of the top 1% on that platform that I'm talking about, compared to all the shows that don't even exist anymore. There's no new episodes. There hasn't been episodes in 10 years. Congratulations, you're better than somebody who's not even podcasting. That's not a great comparison. So going with the Buzzsprout numbers, top 1% podcast, you have to have 4,200 downloads in 7 days. I can guarantee you the people that are top 1% and telling you they're top 1% based on another website that I will not name because they're terrible. They're not using 4,200 downloads in 7 days. I can tell you that for sure. So I like this number as a top 1%. So if you're not doing 4,200 downloads for one episode within 7 days of release, then you really should stop saying you're a top 1 to 5% down podcaster, because you're not, according to these numbers. And these are real numbers. So just be careful when you hear people saying, I'm a top 1% podcaster according to blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. So just keep that in mind. So again, come to this page, podmatch.com/report. Drop in any calendar month you want, and you can see the differences. There's some ebb and flow to this. There's some seasonality to this. Summer, winter, fall, year to year. And you can go back and take a look anywhere, and you'll see where you sit in relation to these numbers. I think it gives you a chance to go, wait a minute. You're telling me that if I get 27 downloads, I'm in the top 50% of all podcasts? Yeah, that's all you need. That's doable. That's doable. That's a goal to work towards. If you have 5 downloads right now, you can work it up to 27 in 7 days. There's some things you can do, and you and I can talk about this. I can help you get there easily. It's going to take a little bit of work, but easily you and I in a conversation can come up with a plan to get you to that 27. Let's get you into the top 50%. Don't worry about the top 1%. That's coming later. Top 50? Yeah, 27 downloads in 7 days. We can do this. Reach out to me at howtopodcast.ca. As I look back at 500 episodes for this show, it's actually technically more than 500 because I've done Daily Daves, and those weren't numbered episodes. Like this episode is episode 500. My Daily Daves are basically unnumbered bonus episodes, so they don't have a numerical value to them. So if you take all the Daily Daves and add them to the numbered episodes, we're way past 500. But if I'm going to stick with the numbered episodes, technically, by number, numerically, this is episode 500. As I look back at all these episodes, I'm just thinking about, for this show and my other 8 podcasts that I host, that there's been some really great stories on Living the Next Chapter. I had an author reach out to me, and 2 years ago, they were on my show as a guest. They live in the States. And they reached out to me to say they got a message from a book fair type thing in Frankfurt, Germany, who heard about them on my show, on Living the Next Chapter, and invited them to come to a book thing event in Germany because of my podcast and their guest appearance on my show. They sent me a DM. They're like, thanks, because of you, I'm now off to Germany to celebrate my book. And that happened 2 years ago, that interview. The beautiful thing about podcasts is that these things live on, and you never know who's going to press play and where they are and when they're going to listen. So that's something to celebrate. So my challenge to you as a podcaster, if you haven't done this already, to do this now. I've talked about this in the past on the show, and if you're new here, welcome. Nice to have you here. Create a happy folder. Now, this can be an actual physical file folder where you put things in and you have access to it. It could be a file folder in your email account, somewhere where you can capture these moments, these comments, these DMs, these reviews, this feedback, these people reaching out to you saying they love your show, but have some place to store them. Have a location where you can go back and go, yeah, these things made me smile. These are things that really lit me up. And I heard from a listener. I heard from a guest. Somebody said something nice about my show. Have a happy folder and put all these things there and celebrate. Again, we roll by all these episode metrics and milestones, and we don't even give it a second thought. So if you're getting 27 downloads every 7 days for every new episode, have you celebrated? Like, come on. You're in the top 50%. Come on. You're doing it. You're doing something. It's working. And I just find that we don't celebrate enough as podcasters. I think it's exciting to know your podcast is having an impact on people. And to all those that have ever reached out to me through my SpeakPipe, on my website, and left me a voice message, I just thank you. Thank you for making time in your day to do that. You're not going to hear from the majority of your audience ever as a podcaster. But as more and more people reach out, you're realizing that the depth of your audience is getting better, deeper, and your connection is getting stronger with your audience the more you hear from them. So if you've listened to 500 episodes of the How to Podcast series and you've never left me a voice message, how dare you? I would love to hear from you, because that just means that we already know each other. You know my voice, but I haven't had the pleasure of hearing yours. So there's a SpeakPipe link on my website, howtopodcast.ca. Just click it. It's completely free. You get up to 5 minutes of recording time. Even if you did me 10-second recording, I'm fine with that. Even if you don't have a podcast, reach out. Let me know. I'm listening to the show, Dave, and I listen in this city, this country. I'd love to hear that. So, and bonus points if you have a podcast. Tell me about your show. I want to promote you. But just the idea that we can get on a microphone and talk to people and connect with people around the world. Again, some of the nicest people have been on the show as a guest co-host. I've learned a lot. I've gained a lot of new friendships and new connections. My community's growing. And we're here to serve you. The whole reason for the show is to serve you. It's not a money-making venture. It's not a funnel. It's not a trap. It's not a sales pitch. It's a podcast. And it's completely free. And there's no ads. And it's all focused on helping you, no matter where you are in your journey as a podcaster. This whole podcast was created out of love and care for you on your journey. And if you come for 500 episodes or you only come for 5, as long as we serve you and do our best every episode, I say we, but it's mostly me, but I mean like our community serves you well, then we're on the right path. One of the big things that I've really enjoyed from doing this podcast is creating our meetup group. This meetup group's been going for a couple years now. Right now we're doing Tuesdays and Saturdays. And the depth of conversation and the encouragement from the people on my screen through our free meetup group, it's amazing. It's built around this show, but not everybody even that comes to the meetup has ever even listened to this show. But we're helping podcasters and we're doing life together in community, and it's a beautiful thing to see people care for each other. I wish we could do this in person twice a week, but we can't. But the beautiful thing is you have people I'm in Canada, I've got people from California and Florida and Texas and Maine. I have people from all over the place joining in on this. It's like the coolest thing ever. And so we get to do this for free from the comfort of our home. And it's like a mini podcasting conference. We try to give as much value as possible in every meetup. So that's probably been one of the things that have happened because of the show that I didn't anticipate when I first started the show. But what a joy to have time with people like you on screen twice a week, 2 years plus now. It's really a lot of fun. And if you've never been there, I just want to encourage you, don't podcast alone. Be in community. If it's not our community, find a community. Don't do this by yourself. Having somebody in your corner that cares for you, holds you accountable, encourages you, listens to your show, gives you feedback, cheers you on. It's the best thing ever. Don't podcast alone. Come to our meetups. Again, howtopodcast.ca, everything's there. It's completely free. Come as often as you want. We'd love to have you be a part of the community. I want you to do a milestone mindset challenge. I want you to set and celebrate your next milestone for your podcast. We're all at different stages. You might not be at 500 episodes. You might be at 2,500 episodes. You might be at episode 2. But I want you to set a challenge. If you're in the single digits of episodes, less than 10, then I want you to set a milestone of episode 10. Why? Because not very many podcasts go past episode 10. So you're going to beat the curve just by getting into the double digits of episodes, more than 10. And I want you to set that as your intention, your goal. I want you to plan out your content, plan out your calendar, plan out when you're going to release these 10 episodes, and get past 10. For the love of podcasting, get past 10. You are automatically in a different group of podcasts just by getting past episode 10. I have met with so many people through this podcast with such great potential, but for whatever reason, life, motivation, whatever it is, sometimes people just give up and they walk away from a great idea, a great audience, and a great growth mechanism for them personally, and they never even get to episode 10. And it's so sad. But I understand if podcast isn't for you, it isn't for you, and there's no one who can force you to do this. But my challenge for you is to set that challenge and set that goal of 10 episodes. If you're still in the single digits or you haven't even launched yet, get past episode 10, please. Again, for the love of all things podcasting, get past episode 10. You're going to find it's when you get to that double digits, the next one is triple digits, right? So 10 episodes, people, please set a challenge and go towards that milestone. And then I want you to share what you're looking forward to in your podcast and how you plan on marking your occasion when you hit that goal. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Email, SpeakPipe, DM, whatever it is. What is your mindset challenge milestone? What are you working towards? And how are you going to celebrate when you get there? When you cross the finish line in a race, they cheer for you. They blow horns, they wave banners, they wave flags, people clap. And in podcasting, we need to do the same for each other. So my gratitude call to action, pathway to engagement, is to encourage you to acknowledge your progress. Even if it feels small, and just acknowledge that you're moving forward. I want you to remind you that your voice matters and that every step you take in your podcast, every episode, every milestone that you cross is worth recognizing. I want you to keep podcasting as long as you want to, and as long as it serves you and your audience. Your episode will not only mark a significant achievement by celebrating these milestones, but it will help position you as a champion for the podcasting journey. Every step deserves celebration. So how are you going to celebrate? What are you going to do? And do more of that. Thank you for being here for 500 episodes. If you've been here from the beginning, my goodness, you're amazing. If this is your first episode, I get it that you haven't heard 499 previous episodes, and maybe you just start here and continue from this point. That's great. I'm glad to have you here. But there's 500 episodes for you about how to podcast. And this is a show that is designed for you. And the value is not just in the new episodes, but all of the back episodes. Go back and take a look. There's a lot of great information there for you. And if you want to come on the show and talk about your podcast journey, my calendar link is right there on my website. The meetup link is right there. My SpeakPipe link is right there. It's all on howtopodcast.ca. I'm looking forward to another 500 episodes. And I hope you'll stick with me and come back for episode 1000. Doesn't that sound crazy? 4 digits? Wow. Remember that episode 500 is not a reality if there's no episode 1. So if you want to get to episode 500, then record episode 1. And then episode 2. And then episode 3. That's how you get to 500. So keep podcasting, keep doing what you're doing, keep showing up, get past 10 episodes, and realize that 27 listens to your podcast in 7 days is not a huge mountain to climb. We can do this together. Let's celebrate our milestones. 1 episode at a time, 1 listener at a time. 1 podcast at a time. And let's do it in community, not by ourselves. Thanks for being here for 500 episodes. I love you guys. So proud to do this for you. And I hope this helps. Cheers. So I get asked quite often, usually at the end of a podcast, like right now, Dave, how can we help you? Like, how can we, as a listener, support the show? Can we come rake your leaves? Can we cut the grass? Shovel the snow? Watch your dog? Help you move? What can we do? Clean your dishes? Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, if you can't do that because, you're in Poland, maybe you can help us by supporting us with our Buy Me a Coffee. It's right there on our website. And, it just will help us to, A, stay fueled because, we drink a lot of coffee around here. And it helps the show. So if you want to help us, it's out of the goodness of your heart. I can tell you that listening to the podcast to this point, you've already helped us so much. But I do have people saying, Dave, I'd love to give back something small, even just to the show. Buy Me a Coffee link is on our website at howtopodcast.ca. And you can support the show that way. It would mean a lot to have you on our team supporting what we do here. If you find value in the show, then that's great. Share the show. Tell somebody about it. And when somebody says, Dave, I want to start a podcast, who should I check out? Oh, you should go check out the How to Podcast series because of all the great co-hosts and all the things that happen here, the meetups, everything. And I would appreciate that. And then fill our cup once in a while if you can. But again, thank you so much for being here and supporting the How to Podcast series. Take care. Talk soon.